everyone, it's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. I bring you new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you are not new, then you're noticing behind me things look a little bit different, and that's because this week I'm bringing you Christmas in July. So no, I don't think any of us are truly ready for the Christmas holiday quite yet, especially in the heat of July. However, if you are a crafter or a DIYer, then you're always sort of gathering ideas throughout the year so that come Christmas time, you sort of have a plan in mind. Or maybe you like to craft and create your projects, your decor, your gifts throughout the year. That way when the Christmas season rolls around, you can just sit back and enjoy. So this week we're gonna have some fun with some Christmas DIYs. And I was at the thrift store not long ago and I found a couple items that I thought could use some updating and would be really cute for some Christmas decor. So let's go ahead and get started with these two Trash to Treasure Christmas projects. And here's a look at the two items that I found at the thrift store. A golf caddy that had a $1 price tag on it, and then a really nice shelf that had a $20 price tag on it, but I picked that up for $4. And that's the item we're going to get started working on first. I wanted to remove the drawers, and they had a little stop on them, so I took a chisel to remove that drawer stopper because I wanted to turn these drawers backwards so I could paint on them. And so I did that before measuring for the little pieces that will sit on those shelves. So I measured to cut down some 2x2s, which are going to be chalk painted here in just a little bit. And I also cut down a 1x2 to sort of act as a bumper for the top piece, since there was a front on that shelf. It needed a little bit of a step up. Next, I made sure to sand everything down, and I used an 80 grit sandpaper for this. And then I drilled a hole in the top of one of the 2x2 pieces, and that's going to be a little chalk holder for our countdown shelf. Start painting and finishing our projects. I'm going to be using a white chalk paint for this, as well as some black chalkboard paint and some foam paint brushes to apply both of those. And I started with the black chalkboard paint, and I gave the backs of the drawers 3 coats of the chalkboard paint and also the 2x2s that I had cut down. And then the 1x2 that I cut down, which is going to be a little step inside that top shelf, got a coat of white chalk paint. I wanted this to look more like the shelf itself instead of a separate piece. And once that was painted, I moved on to the actual shelf itself, and that also got 3 coats of white chalk paint. Once the chalk paint had dried, I went in with my 80 grit sandpaper and just roughed up some of the edges to give it more of a rustic and weathered look. Some regular white chalk to write on the little 2x2s to write days until, and then I wrote Christmas on the other one. And the great thing about this is it can be erased and you can reuse it. So you could use this for vacations, for weddings, birthdays, different events. So I really love that this is a versatile piece. A really nice shelf, but with a little bit of love, it now has a more farmhouse style look, which is much more my own style. I love that you can change this to say days until or months until. So it's a really nice piece that can accent your home's decor year round. Let me know down in the comments below if there is a special event or special occasion that you and your family are counting down to. This next project started out as a golf-themed caddy, and I saw it and thought it looked really cute for a stocking holder for Christmas, so I worked on those golf tee looking posts first and just snipped the top of those off using my miter saw. I didn't want this to have any kind of golf looking look to it at all. So that was the first step. And then I brought it upstairs to do the finishing. So the first thing I did was remove that green felt from the bottom, and then the entire thing got 3 coats of white chalk paint to really just neutralize the whole thing. The little flag that was sticking out from the side popped out super easily, and I just added 3 coats of red chalk paint to this. And here I'm using 1-inch size painter's tape to create the red stripe that will run up the top of this. Once I had the tape in place, I used that same red chalk paint to add 2 coats to the post of the caddy. And next I use my white chalk marker from Arteza to label this with a North Pole logo. After removing the painter's tape, I realized that the top of this caddy still looked like a golf ball, and I definitely didn't want that, so I went ahead and taped that off and painted that red as well. Once I had everything put back together, I had these cute little mittens from last Christmas. It was a Dollar Tree DIY, and I'll link that tutorial down below if you want to check that out. But this would be such a versatile sort of display piece you could use at Christmas time. I hung the little mittens on there, but you could do stockings, you could do coffee mugs, you could do photos, so lots of different ideas, sort of a versatile, cute little display piece. These were both really fun projects, and if you're excited for Christmas, give this video a thumbs up. I know I am. It's just a wonderful time of year, and even though it's not quite Christmas time yet, it will be here before we know it. Please hit that subscribe button so you can stick around and join me every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration. And while you're at it, hit that bell so you get notified when my videos go live. And you can also follow me over on my social media, both on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll link those down in the description box below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.